welcome back. Today's video is a February favourites. I'm going to talk about the books that I read, the movies that I watched, and just fun things that I've captured on camera. Starting with books, I read 5 this month and I'm excited to talk about them. The first one is Joan Didion's Slouching Towards Bethlehem, which is a collection of essays and her first non-fiction publication, I believe. I'll have to fact check that. And I read this while I was traveling. I feel like I've spoken about it a lot. I'm sorry. I went to America and this is based in California, or a lot of these stories are centered around California, which is one of the states that I went to, because I started reading Played as It Lays, which is I think one of her most famous works, but it's fiction, and I was just struggling to get into it. I'm sure I'll finish it at some point, but yeah, I wanted to read the non-fiction because it really connected to where I was going. The bookmark that I used for this one looks like this, and I think my favorite essays are On Keeping a Notebook and Slouching Towards Bethlehem, which the title of this novel is. It's the first book of Joan Didion's that I've finished. I think her writing is very purposeful, and I think I already knew that, you know, she was very specific about which words she used in the grammatical structures, so I was prepared for that, but she really delivers with that in this collection. Then the next book that I finished was French Cooking for One, which my friend got for me for my birthday, and it's a cookbook. I do have the title card that I used in this book was actually the card that another one of my friends gave me for my birthday, and so it feels like both of their presents in one. It's perfect because I am moving countries in a few months, so I will be cooking for one soon. She got it from Daunt Books in London when she was away, and I still haven't figured out what to do with the plastic bag, but I want to keep it because it's so cute, so I'm still finding a life for this little bag. The next book, which has turned pink on the edges, I think because I put it near The Position of Spoons, Deborah Levy. It's pink and it's kind of rubbed off onto this. But this one I also took and started reading while I was traveling and then finished later in the month. It's The Use of Photography by Annie Ernaux and Mark Marie, and they photographed their apartment after being intimate, and it's an exploration of those photos, what they mean, and then a lot about life and death. It obviously changes between their perspective each chapter, and I really enjoyed that part, especially reading about their perspective of death. I find it really difficult to read about cancer, but I also think it's really important, and especially breast cancer. So yeah, I'm not critiquing the fact that it was written about. I'm just saying I personally struggle at this point in my life to read about it. I did really enjoy the book, and this was the card that I used in this book. The next book was one that I got in the gift shop at Bryce Canyon, and it's called Hey Ranger, and it's a bunch of stories written by park rangers about the stupid things people have done, like getting stuck in storms, encounters with wildlife. It was very funny, very adventurous, and the proceeds go to the park rangers. I think it's a very universal thing that funding is being cut for who look after and tend to protected land, which is quite miserable. Yeah, to be frank, I think everyone agrees. Yeah, I'm glad that there's things like this that can help. And I also think that, like David Attenborough said, you need to tell stories about nature in order for people to care about it. So this definitely did that for me. I don't know where else you can get it, but I do highly recommend this book. The last book is The Paris Review. I bought 2 editions. I haven't bought a subscription to this. I'm moving to Europe at the end of the year, so you know I'll probably be able to find this more easily in bookstores. It's very hard to find in Australia unless you buy online. So yeah, I didn't want to buy any more. But again, I liked the author profiles in this. I think the poetry collection is a bit hit and miss for me. This is only the second one I've read, but it's fun. It's very quick to get through. It's 235 pages. It feels dense. The essays and profiles I really love, but I actually got through it a lot quicker than I thought I would. Magazines that I would recommend this to anyone looking for a new magazine to purchase, but I would start off buying one edition first before you try the subscription. They were all the books that I read. I had another good month of reading, but I guess the next thing is movies. I watched a lot in February. I watched all 3 Transformers movies, which I'm not even saying this in a camp way, but they were good movies. As someone who is obsessed with the Hunger Games, Divergent, like dystopian and rebellion, like it was good. I really enjoyed them. I also watched this Cheer movie, which I forgot the name. I like it how it referenced cultural moments, like Bring It On existed in the realm of this cheer camp. But it's also just a fun movie to watch. And then on Mubi, I watched Matt and Mara and The Dreamers. I've got notes for these ones. I'm gonna start with The Dreamers. I felt very uncomfortable by some of the themes, but I understand why people love it. I did enjoy the critique of activism throughout. I think that's what I enjoyed about it the most, and obviously it's very romantic, like Paris is a character in this movie. I also loved the color grading in The Dreamers, and that's something I don't know how to do, and I would love to learn for my own videos. I love the look of this film. It's interesting. I wrote a lot about here how it had very Scorpio themes, or it just felt very Scorpio to me, and then I looked up the director and he has a Scorpio moon. But also Mia Goth, who in her, I remembered that she said The Dreamers was in her top 4 on Letterboxd, which was one of the reasons why I watched it. And because of this, then I looked at Mia Goth's birth chart. And she has 4 Scorpio placements as well, which is Scorpio Sun, Mercury and Mars, and a Pisces moon, which was interesting because the director had a Pisces sun. But anyway, regardless, maybe if you have Scorpio placements in you, I think you could handle the darker tones of this movie a lot more. There's nothing wrong with anyone who does, I guess is what I'm saying, regardless of Scorpio. I just like astrology and it's fun. But yeah, The Dreamers. I would honestly though, I'd give it a 3.5 stars out of 5. Then Matt and Mara. This is kind of like a mumblecore about a writer. She's a university lecturer now though, and her ex-partner comes back into her life, and they kind of, it's just, yeah, it's a little bit about like, will they, won't they have an affair? And it's an exploration of writers and how they operate, how writers see writers. It's a very big like show don't tell kind of movie, which I liked. I am fascinated by Mara and don't know if she's a good or bad person yet. I think Matt is definitely the villain. I don't like him. Yeah, that's what I have to say. Anyway, the rest of February, it was my birthday. I had a birthday breakfast with some friends. Hermione, as she has done many birthdays in the past, not just for me, but made a beautiful birthday cake. This one was Earl Grey tea. It was delicious. It's probably one of my top 3 now, like up there with carrot cake. And yeah, it was a sweet and busy month.
Hi, Naomi. How y'all doing? Tonight's gonna be really special. I'm not gonna tell you why, but something's gonna happen.
Can you juggle Chloe? Oh god. Can you juggle? I can't juggle. I'm just trying to get. Just come. There you go.
It's been a while.
Yeah, it took a second. Yeah, see, you're just calm about it.
It's good.
I get too anxious and
Ready to go, right?
Do you want to do a fit check? Yeah. We're just gonna stand.
If I play a new song for you now, then you're gonna know it. But please be kind. It's a sweet little song, and it's called Nice to Each Other.
Best to make me feel small, and you can't see my mirror, and I can't see you. Come in.
You're all complete, okay? So, this is Be My Own Boyfriend. This next song is about girls' toilets.
Ooh, yeah! Alright, looks like a good festival!
I fucking love Melbourne. You have been very lucky here. It's beautiful, and thank you for having us.
Maybe it's the fact that every time I fall, I lose it. Every time.
The other thing that I've kind of come to a conclusion with is my goal with language learning and French. My goal is to take the C1 French course. For those that don't know the international grading system, it's A1, A2, B1, B2, C1, C2. C2 is the highest, and I wanted the C1, which is proficient, like fluency, and you're very comfortable speaking eloquently on like multiple topics. In order to do that, I have gone to the library. I've finally got I renewed like my library subscription. So I have a library card again, and I've started borrowing some creative nonfiction, more so just nonfiction books, some history books, some art history books. And in reading them, I also want to use it as an exercise to translate or write a journal entry about what I learnt or read. So I'll give you a little haul. The first one is Monet and Modernism. It's a beautiful book. I mean, I just kind of like looking at the paintings as well and having an excuse to have this at home and look through it. But also, he's very fascinating. I like profiles and biographies on any artist, whether they be painters, musicians, cinematographers, actors, anyone. I love Impressionism. The colours of Impressionism, it puts me in a good mood. And then I have Dance, Desire and Anxiety in Early 20th Century French Theatre, and this is kind of like a sociological exploration of dance as a language. Then I have Through Foreign Eyes, Western Attitudes Towards North Africa. I took a course in university when I was studying French, and it was the history of the Algerian War, which I feel like I didn't pay enough attention to, so I'm keen to read it more about it and in depth, especially because, yeah, this pertains to the Francophone history. I'm apprehensive though. I still don't know much about the author, and I know that's very important in historical books, so definitely prepared to be very critical. There are some other books that I borrowed, but they're more novels that I'm just interested in. So if I read them, I'll let you know. So yeah, very excited about my library card. But yeah. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next week.